All discoveries are part of lifetime hard work of eminent people. Thomas Young is also one of them who dedicated his life for his great discoveries. Thomas Young was a British polymath who made notable contributions to the field of vision, light, solid mechanics, energy, physiology, language, musical harmony, Egyptology. He was born on June 13, 1773, in Milverton, southwest England, into a Quaker family. He was the eldest of 10 children. As a child, he was a child prodigy who could read through Bible twice by the age of 4 and was reading and writing at the age of 6. He knew a dozens of languages including ancient Greek and Latin. Young studied medicine, but ultimately he did not succeed as a doctor. When he was 28, he abandoned the medical practice to join Royal Institution of London. In 2 years, he delivered 91 lectures. In fact, Young held discoveries in every field that he studied, including physics, the wave theory of light, engineering, the modulus of elasticity, physiology, the mechanism of vision, Egyptology, linguistics, and so on. For many people, Young is the last man who knew everything. The Encyclopaedia Britannica summarizes Young as English physician and physicist who established the principle of interference of light and thus resurrected the century-old wave theory of light. He was also an Egyptologist who helped decipher the Rosetta Stone. He was one of the first people to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics and was also a great linguist, the first in identifying numerous similarities between languages that he studied. Young's interest in sense perception led to the discovery of cause of astigmatism. He explained the colors of thin film and the phenomenon of polarization, calculated the approximate wavelength of different colors, investigated color perception, and developed methods for measuring surface tension and the size of molecule. His ideas about color perception was acknowledged in the Young-Helmholtz three-color theory. Young was the first to define the term energy in the modern sense. Now, let us see a short review of Young's contribution in various fields. In the field of optics, his major contribution is double slit experiment, which has been considered not only one of the most beautiful but also favorite experiments in physics. With this experiment, Young challenged the theories of Isaac Newton and proved the wave nature of light. When the waves emerging from two narrow slits are superimposed on a screen which is placed at some distance parallel to the line connecting these slits, a pattern of bright and dark fringes regularly spaced appear on the screen. This is called so-called interference pattern, and this was a clear proof that light added to light can produce darkness. Interference is accompanied by a spatial redistribution of optical intensity without violation of power conservation. This phenomenon is known as interference, and through this experiment, Huygens' view regarding the wave nature of light were confirmed. Between 1801 and 1803, Young delivered a series of lectures to the Royal Society underlying the wave theory of light, adding to it a new fundamental concept, principle of interference. Prior to Young's contribution, engineers were required to apply Hooke's law, F is equal to k into x, to identify the deformation of a body subjected to a known load where the constant k is function of both geometry and the material under consideration. Finding this constant k required physical testing since f was a function of both geometry and material. Young introduced a mathematical equation describing elasticity and the equation was stress is equal to E into strain, where Young's modulus relates the stress in a body to its associated strain. Young's modulus is independent of the component and it is an inherent property of material. Young's modulus allowed for the first time the prediction of strain in a component subjected to a non-stress, and this was a revolution in engineering field. Young is also known as the founder of physiological optics. It was in 1793 that he explained how eye adjusts itself to the vision at different distances with the curvature of the crystalline lens. He was the first to describe astigmatism, and in his lectures he presented the hypothesis that the color perception depends on three kinds of nerve fibers in retina, and the dependence of color sensation on frequency of vibration excited by light in the retina. Even though he proposed the three color theory of vision, it was only confirmed 150 years later in Young Helmholtz three color theory. Young conducted various research on sound, on hearing, and on human voice. Maybe that was when he wondered if the sound and light would have same wave nature. Yet another contribution of Thomas Young is Young's equation. In 1804, Young developed the theory of capillary phenomena on the principle of surface tension. He also observed the constancy of angle of contact of liquid surface with a solid and showed how from these two principles to deduce the phenomenon of capillary action. Young's equation describes the contact angle of a liquid drop on a plane solid surface as a function of surface free energy, the interfacial free energy, and the surface tension of the liquid. Young's equation was developed further some 60 years later by Dupré to account for thermodynamic effect, which is called Young-Dupré equation. In 1830, Carl Friedrich Gauss, the German mathematician, unified the work of two scientists, Young and Laplace, to derive the Young-Laplace equation, the formula that describes the capillary pressure difference sustained across the interface between two static fluids. Young was the first to define the term energy in modern sense. As it is already said, Young-Laplace equation describes the capillary pressure difference sustained across the interface between two static liquids, and Young-Dupré equation applies to wetting of ideal solid surface. The three equations, that Young equation, Young-Laplace capillary rise equation, and Young-Dupré equations, are shown here. Young's equation gives solid surface free energy in terms of interfacial free energy and liquid surface free energy. If gamma SV is a solid surface free energy, gamma SL is the solid or liquid interfacial free energy, and gamma LV is the liquid surface free energy, and theta the contact angle, then the solid surface free energy gamma SV is given by gamma SL plus gamma LV cos theta. And the next picture which shows Young-Laplace capillary rise equation, where the liquid height in the capillary tube of radius r is given as a function of liquid surface tension gamma, liquid density rho, and contact angle theta. H is equal to 2 gamma cos theta by r rho g. The equation shows that for lower value of the radius of capillary tube and liquid density, higher will be the liquid height in the capillary tube. For good meniscus, we will require low value of gamma and the radius of capillary tube. And the next figure which shows Young-Dupre equation. Dupre's equation was used to relate interfacial tension and the interactions between the solid and liquid. Interactions are generally described by the work of addition WSL, which represents the work which must be done to separate the two phases or energy released in wetting. And Young-Dupre equation is the basic form that is used by many of surface energy models, and the equation is given by WSL is equal to gamma L into 1 plus cos theta. This equation clearly relates the interaction between the liquid and solid to surface tension and contact angle. Different models will include different interactions in their calculation of surface energy, meaning value even for same sample are not always directly comparable with them. In physiology, Young made an important contribution to hemodynamics in the Croonian lectures for 1808 on the functions of the heart and arteries, and also derived a formula for the wave speed of the pulse. Young devised a rule of thumb for determining a child's drug dosage. Young's rule states that the child dosage is equal to adult dosage multiplied by child's age in year divided by sum of 12 plus the child's age. His writings in medical field include an introduction to medical literature, including a system of practical nosology in 1813, a practical and historical treatise on consumptive diseases in 1815. In his Encyclopaedia Britannica article, Languages, Young compared grammar and vocabulary of 400 languages. In a separate work in 1813, he introduced the term Indo-European languages. Young made significant contributions to the decipherment of Egyptian hieroglyphics. He started his Egyptology work rather late in 1813 when the work was already in progress among other researchers. And also he played a major role in decoding the Rosetta Stone. Concerning Thomas Young, the noted physicist, Sir Humphrey Davy wrote, "He was a most amiable and good-tempered man of universal erudition and almost universal accomplishments. Had he limited himself to any one department of knowledge, he must have been the first in that department. But as a mathematician, a scholar, a hieroglyphist, he was eminent, and he knew so much it was difficult to say what he did not know." Thomas Young passed away in his 56th year in London on 10th May 1829, having suffered recurrent attacks of asthma. His autopsy revealed atherosclerosis of the aorta. His body was buried in the graveyard of St. Giles Church in the county of Venn. Westminster Abbey houses a white marble tablet in the memory of Young. Thomas Young, an eminent person who was able to excel in every field he passed through, a prodigy who knew hundreds of languages and even was able to compare the grammar and vocabulary of 400 languages, a person who was able to answer even the most difficult problems of physics, a person who coined the term energy, who was able to show that light not only has particle nature but also a wave nature, a person who is founder of physiological optics, an Egyptologist who helped decipher the Rosetta Stone, would definitely have been a man who knew everything in his field if he had limited his work in a single field. But he made his mark in every field he passed through. As mentioned by Andrew Robinson, Thomas Young was the last man who knew everything.